on the IG. What's up? And what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the Top Music Attorney podcast. I'm Top Music Attorney, Miss Krystle, and we are back. Happy Valentine's Day. It's just the romance of romance days and months. Who is being romantical today? And what are you doing? Tell me all the things. So, guys, we're going a little bit earlier today. I don't know who saw the announcement, but we, snuckily put it in there. But I was also kind of curious just to see if this time would make any difference. Hey, what's up on Instagram? Guys, we're live over on Top Music Attorney on YouTube right now. So if you want to join the live stream and you can ask questions and do all the things, come on over. As you guys are filing in the chat, let me know where you checking in from and what time is it. Hey, what's up, Sophia? Okay. Martian Murray. Eric. Hope you guys are having a good day. Thank you very much. I curled it. All right, guys. So we're going to have a Power Punch episode for you today, partly because it's Valentine's Day. Look, we have things to do tonight. But you come first, as always, which is why we're still here and we're hanging out with you. So I love your faces. But Beyonce's Gone Country, talking about that, I just was like looking at this today, just confused. I was just confused on what was happening. But also, all right, who's on Amazon Prime? Okay, if you're on Amazon Prime, who is watching or trying to like watch their show and they logged in a few days ago? And it's like, hey, if you want uninterrupted watching experience with no ads, you have to pay $2.99 a month moving forward. And I'm like, that seems suspicious. I don't remember agreeing to this. This seems really, that's too much text to read. I have to like stop everything and just search my brain. Okay, all right. I'm being told to casually deal with something. I can't read that much text. Anyway, so yeah, this is not only, did I have that thought? And I'm gonna give you my thought because I was with that Orko at the time. So we have our feelings on that. But anyway, so did you say yes if you're on Amazon Prime and you're like, well, I'm already paying for the subscription, but whatever, just charge me another $3. We have thoughts on it. But anyway, so does a bunch of other people. And specifically, there's been a lawsuit filed against Amazon because of this. All right. So we're going to go over it. We even have the complaints. Oh, it's going to be juicy. Yeah, I see y'all going off in the comments. Everyone's got a feeling on this. I think this is going to be a good conversation. And speaking of good conversations, we do this live on the YouTube, for those of you over on Instagram. We do this live so that you can come and check in and say hi and drop your questions in the chitty chat, and I will answer them for you. I didn't know there's an extra. Well, Eric, they're coming for you. All right. And guys, also, I have a poll question on YouTube, which is, did you pay the new extra fee? All right, on Amazon Prime in order to watch and have your viewing experience ad free? I did. But, we'll talk about it. Okay, how did Going Country? Everyone's going country. The new Miss Krystle single is going to be country. That's right. We're talking about Beyonce, her new country songs, plural. And don't even get me started on like Super Bowl. There's so much to talk about. I don't know if we're going to get to everything today, but I'm so glad that you guys are here. Is there going to be a Q&A at the end? Actually, yeah. Sorry, I keep covering up the great text. The Q&A is all throughout. So whatever questions that you have, you just drop them. And then in between the segments, I'm always answering your guys' questions. So you just hit me up when you have something you want to ask. Had to tune in. There we go. Hey, for those of you coming over from Instagram, I love your faces. Come to Top Music Attorney on YouTube. I appreciate you. All right, we got some questions, but here. So other than the newsy things that we're going to talk about, I am also... All right, I was talking to that Orko about this tip I'm going to go over for you guys because he's like, oh my gosh. Like he freaks out for the stuff that I share because I give you all the really good stuff, but I'm actually super excited about this one because as a music attorney who does, deals with all the majors, Universal, Warner, Sony, I don't usually get to talk about the deal so much, right? It's a little hush hush, but today I'm actually going to go through a major label offer and deal, and I'm going to talk to you about, basically about the fine print. What are record label agreement
Popping in
fine?
just to say, yeah, no, this is crazy. So if you're tuned in, make sure that you hang out throughout the show. You are not gonna want to miss this. Like, she's not kidding. She gave me the preview. I freaked out. This is so crazy what she's gonna show you. You've never seen the curtain drawn back so far. So
Yeah,
that's
so anyway,
crazy.
you'll like it. You'll like it. All right. So before I run the intro, and in fact, I'll tell you what. Let me run the intro so I can go back and see your questions, and I can, because I have to like find the graphic. I'm getting it. I'm getting it, fam. Here we go. Not really. So close. Here we go. Okay. Drop your questions. I'm gonna look at them. Run the pre-roll. We'll be right back, and we'll go from there. Guys, I'm top music attorney Miss Krystle. I'm an entertainment attorney, public speaker, and creator of the Top Music Attorney School for artists and record labels. I'm the owner of Dukes Up Records, and most importantly, I'm an independent artist. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss my weekly videos giving you my best tips on the music business, industry news updates, and teaching you how to stay legally protected. Let's go. Dead Guy asks, you and the mister having a fairy tale evening tonight? We're going to a concert. I'm like, I have work tomorrow. But yeah, we're going to go to a concert, get some dinners. Come on. It's supposed to be like a sold out show. It's a rap show. It's going to be in this tiny club. I don't even know what's happening. This is what we're doing. Chase, always been country. Miss Krystle, country Miss Krystle. Look, I'm just going to have to get on the trend here, okay? That's right. Never forget the chat. Okay, Sophia had a question. I saw you have a question in regards to the BOI, so the beneficial ownership interest report. In your video, I was very confused because you said sole proprietorships, but don't need it, but LLCs do. Okay. I have an LLC and I'm the only member, so it is a sole proprietorship, and I had to file with the Secretary of State to open the LLC plus yearly annual report. Great distinction here. So does that mean I would need to file the BOI? So for those of you who are like totally confused right now, we released a video, and I don't think we've released it on TMA yet, have we? No. So we released this on Delgado Entertainment Law. I'll make sure to release it on TMA as well, because if you have an LLC or a corporation, you got to file this report. It is now federal law. It is required that you file this thing regarding your LLC or your corporation. And if you don't, they're like, we're going to fine you $500 a day while you're non-compliant for up to $10,000. We might throw you in jail for a couple of years. Like, it's pretty severe. The good news is that if your company was already in formation prior to the start of this year, so January 1 of this year, you're good to go until the 1st of next year. Okay. But if you start a new LLC this year, you have 90 days to file it. So anyway, that's the quick version. I promise I'll do a full video on the channel. So subscribe so you can get it here. But anyway, Sophia, great question. If you are a sole proprietorship, in that you have not actually formed with your state an entity like a limited liability company, you're still legally called a sole proprietorship if you're doing business as, right? So if Sophia's, Blue Records Entertainment Company, is really just Sophia, she's never actually registered a limited liability company, you would be considered a sole proprietorship, okay? Now, what gets kind of blurred is that if you are a single member LLC, we still kind of call it a sole proprietorship, but from tax purposes, my understanding is that once you actually formally register, we call it a sole proprietorship, but it's really not, right? So you're a single member LLC. I know what you're talking about though. Okay, so I got you. So the answer is yes, you do need to file this. It's not super complicated. Okay, there's only a couple things that it wants, but the way that it explains it and the frequently asked questions, it's somewhat annoying. So I'm going to be covering this and just promoting it a lot so I can make sure you guys don't get into trouble. But yeah, so the short of it, sole proprietorship, typically we're talking about you as doing business as, you're using a trade name, but you have not set up an actual entity, such as an LLC or a corporation. We missed you. We love it when you guys come back in. Look, it must be the special time. Special time, special day. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. Hey, this actually helps. If you guys say like question, it helps draw my eye to your question because I have all of your questions feeding in from all the different platforms right now, except for Instagram. Instagram, you have to come over to YouTube. I have a completed 9-song CD written equally by me and 3 co-writers, including the master ownership, what type of agreements would I need to document that, as well as Grammy authorship to work in publishers, etc., and to try to exploit the songs. Okay, so, well, it depends, right? So are you trying to have co-ownership? So if you have other writers, sometimes we just hire people. And so if we just hire people to help us write, then we want a work for hire agreement. Okay, so it's just a simple like template. You have them sign. You have to do this under copyright law. Just because you pay them doesn't mean anything. You have to get it in writing. And so you get a work for hire. But if you guys are not doing a work for hire kind of situation, and you are more like a band, and so you're going to have, co-ownership, you could do an operating agreement. Or what I like to do is to have a collaboration agreement. So basically you want to have an agreement that says who owns what, who's going to be able to distribute it, who can license it for TV and film, opportunities, all that. And I'm doing a search right now just so I could show you. So I'm in the process of building up all the templates that you guys are often asking for because, obviously you can contact my law office and hire me and we can do this for you, but I want to have a cheaper option. So on Top Music Attorney, you can just go there and I have these templates. And so for at least the ones that we just talked about, for example, the contractor agreement, my computer's freezing. Here we go. So if you go to Top Music Attorney, there's a tab called contracts, which is here. All right, so this is the main page. So here is contracts. You just click this, and then it opens up. So we have a couple of things like, if you need an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, if you're going to have someone on your song, it's a featured artist agreement. You have the record label agreement, your music videos. But this is the one I was just talking about. So this is the contractor agreement. If you are hiring someone, then you would want to get this one. And so all the contracts that I always give you guys is going to have like a video, a walkthrough, a whole thing, because I really want to make sure you understand what it's all about. So anyway, that would be my recommendation. It just depends on kind of the structure of what you guys are doing. Feel free to send me a follow-up question on that, depending on what you have. Okie dokie, going through the questions. Sophia, great clarification. Awesome. Yeah, so it's relatively easy, and I just say that because on the application it just make sure you read the instructions. But if it's just your LLC, you're the sole member, yeah, it's gonna be pretty easy for you. Let's see. We were co-writers on this finished CD. Oh, okay. So you're retroactively trying to figure it out. I want to give you money. All right, Michael. Well, just call Delgado Entertainment Law. And we'll help you out. Yeah, so if you guys already did the thing, obviously, people, please try to get these contracts together, like before you start. But if you did just finish the thing, great. It's just you have so much more negotiation power before you've already done it. The downside is that, for example, sometimes people get unreasonable because you've already made the thing, and now they're gonna be like, well, I want more than a third, and and there's not much that you can do other than try to work with them. Otherwise, you can't release the album because they are a co-author under the law. But anyway, I hope you find that helpful. Yeah. What's up in the chat? How you doing, Nick? We're going to a concert tonight. We're going to go party. What are you guys doing for Valentine's? And what did you get me? Oh, okay. All right. Michael's on it. Great. Tremaine is my legal assistant. Look. Great. Well, I'm glad you're here. Good questions. Feel free to ask any more. All right. So why don't we just move on? I'm going to bring that Orko in here in a moment. I'm going to make sure I have all my documents because, like I said, I'm going to walk you guys through, real deal, major label offer. And I've redacted as much as I possibly can, but you guys are going to be able to see behind the curtains today. All right, question. I really appreciate the question, like word. All right, so this is helping me to see these. Thank you. Is there such a thing as a feeder? Ooh, where'd you go? feeder label, for example, like an incubator for startup companies whose end goal, do you mean like an imprint? In our case, a funnel to a major label? Well, yeah. Okay, so my whole deal, right? So my online course is how to build your own record label, because my whole thing is, even if you ultimately want to track towards getting a major label deal, which is what we're going to talk about in today's live stream, but even if, that's ultimately what you're trying to do, you still need to build yourself up like a label would. Get your social media following, get your registrations, get your, your trademark, get your contracts. You still operate as a music business, because when the label comes in, like a major, what they're doing is just offering you a business opportunity. That's all it is. And they're like, hey, we're going to do this with financing. We want to try to get these opportunities and these tours and these sponsorships. But at the end of the day, you still need to set yourself up to actually bargain and not, just be like, I don't have anything going on. I've never released any music whatsoever. And now I want a deal with a major label. Why would they do that? And so I'm just kind of cutting through it for you and saying, along your journey, if you build something amazing, not only will you get that end goal of probably a major label approaching you, but you won't need a label. And that's actually really exciting. All right. Happy Valentine's. Glad that you guys are here. Hey, what's up, Johnny? Indeed, if you own a label and you're the one on it, how much work you have to put into the label to represent yourself. Yeah, and look, I promise, as through my law firm, I'm talking to new people all the time. And like yesterday, I'm talking to, this rock guy, and they had the rock band, and they were signed to Universal, and all this stuff. And just talking about, there's a lot of downside to when you don't know how to do any of this stuff, and then your deal with the label ends, because you're kind of back to square one. If you don't know how to do your marketing, you don't want to do your marketing, you hate it, you think it's cheesy, like all these things, you don't own any of your catalog by the end, the end of the relationship. I'm just saying, not to be a downer on it, but that's a little bit of my whole philosophy of why I'm just so like, I want you guys to build your own stuff, own your own stuff, being in full control. There's a lot more discomfort that happens with going that route. I understand that, but getting through that discomfort, that's what sets you apart from other people, because people just kind of can't get through that. And it's really not that hard. All right. So I'm here to guide you through it. Okay, so let's see here. All right, I'm thinking, Mr. Producer, maybe I should just go into my tip. What do you think? I did not.
Yeah, so just real quick, so we can get behind the scenes. Restream.
I don't know if you guys can hear him. He's giving me the scoop. What's going on?
Restream glitched out, and so all my chat went away, and then my thing went out, and now Restream, the web page, won't even load. And it logged you out, it logged me back in, but it's showing that there isn't even a stream that's happening.
Oh, really? Well, we got the people here on the stream, so. All right, guys, this is what happens when we're actually going live. You get to see all the behind the scenes stuff.
Just take your overlay off.
All right.
Before you start your segment.
All right, so actually, I'm gonna go into my segment first. We normally do the newsy things first, but Mr. Producer is handling some internet issues and trying to take off some overlays that won't go away. And that way I'll go into my segment and it'll be just lovely.
That's crazy.
Maybe just go to a different one.
Yeah, I think something's going on with Restream right now. So just be glad that it's working.
Yeah, so just leave it and I'll just go in and do it. Yeah. All right, guys, give me some fire emojis right now in the chat so I know that you are hearing me correctly and that everything's going fine, because I don't want to start this and then you guys are like not hearing this properly. So give me those fire emojis. Let's go, let's go, let's go. If you guys are over on Instagram, how you doing? Come on over to Top Music Attorney on YouTube. I'm not seeing the fire emojis, so I'm thinking something's happening right now. All right, guys, I'm gonna refresh. I don't know if you can hear me right now, but I'm gonna refresh. It's gonna just whatever for like 3 seconds. I'll be right back because I'm not having your comments come through, and I want to make sure I can see these. Hold tight.